Hey everyone, so here's guided practice problem number 2. So again, we are going to use the function that is shown at the top that would normally be in the middle of a function table like we've seen it in our on the problems we worked on yesterday. Right now it's on top of the table. So you've got your rule there, and then you've got your dependent and independent functions, and we're going to have to figure out the missing value. So in this case, our dependent functions are the ones that are given. So they're going to be the ones over here on the right-hand side of our equation, or our x values. And then our dependent function will be the one that is dependent upon what's going on in the rule, given the independent function, and that will be our y value. That's the value we'll come out with at the end of our equation. So let's go ahead and work through these. And then we'll move on. So the first thing we need to do when filling out a table is we need to take each of the values and plug them in to our equation and see what we get. So in this case, our first one, we have y equals, we don't know y yet, and then our first x value is 0. So 0 plus 6, and then of course 0 plus 6 is 6. So we know our first value will be 6. So I'll come up here and I'll type in my 6. You're just going to complete that process for each of the numbers. So y equals, for this next one, we'd have y equals 1 plus 6, because our next x value is 1. We just plug that in there. And then y would equal 1 plus 6, which equals 7. Pretty straightforward. We're just going to keep repeating that value. So for our next one, it'll be y equals 2 plus 6. 2 plus 6 is 8. And for the last one, y equals x plus 6. If x equals 3, 3 plus 6 equals 9. And that would give us our y value. So ladies and gents, it's fairly easy. You're doing just what we've done in the past. You are just plugging in numbers and then coming up with a value that pops out of the function. Then all we need to do, again, is we are going to plot these points. So this one will be a little more difficult because our other ones were just the same amount over and up. This one we'll actually have to know which value goes which direction. So remember, the axes are labeled for you, which is actually very helpful. If you look here, there's an X on this one. This is your x-axis. So your x values from your chart will go on this line, and then they will correspond with the y-axis over here, or your y values. They're going to go up and down. So in this case, our x is 0, so we're not going to go any over on the thing. It's going to be on this. It'll actually be running along the y-axis and then up 6. There we go. There's our first plotted point. For our next one, we have 1, 7. So we'll go over 1 and then up 7. Over 2, up 8. Over 2, up 8. And last but not least, over 3 and up 9. And as you see there, again, just like before, we have a straight line with all of our points that we've talked about are running along this line. And there you go. We've got the equation graphed. If you have any questions on these, please make sure you shoot me an email. If you start having trouble with them, again, I hope you're right at the top, but stop and take a minute. Look at the explanation on IXL. It's there for you to help you out so you don't have to wait for me on a call. Go ahead and read through that first. If that just does not make any sense to you and you're still really struggling with this, that's okay. Send me an email if it's not time for office hours, and if I am available, I will get back to you as soon as I can. Or you can always, if it's around office hours time, you can always pop on between 2 and 3, or 10:30 to 10 and 10, between 10 and 10:30 each morning, 2 to 3 in the afternoon. I will be there for you to help you out. All right, guys, go ahead and give this skill a shot on IXL, and good luck.